What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including fans and WWE wrestlers criticize the finish for AEW's Blood and Guts special. Refunds had been given at the pay-per-view, but not for the finish. What's next for Daniel Bryan, and what's next for RK Bro? The Rock coming to Fortnite, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Now let's hit the intro and get straight into the first story. Now first story looks at fans and wrestlers trolling the finish for AEW special. AEW's Blood and Guts special is over, with the Pinnacle emerging victorious over the Inner Circle in a lawyer-friendly version of a War Games match. Come on, it is War Games, isn't it? More or less. The double ring, double cage bout ended when MJF threatened to throw a bloody Chris Jericho off the top of the cage unless the Inner Circle surrendered. Sammy Guevara surrendered only for MJF to shove Jericho right off the top of the cage, sending him crashing down to the ground. Unfortunately, the finish was panned by a lot of fans who complained that AEW obviously used a crash pad and they should have captured it from a different angle. Now, there's certainly criticisms to be made as the camera shot exposed the safety precautions, but in all fairness, Chris Jericho did what he was supposed to, falling correctly and selling the impact. Fans can criticize the effects and camera angle, but why criticize Jericho? Did anyone expect a 50-year-old wrestler to take a Mick Foley spot at his age? We're pretty sure wrestling fans obviously didn't want that. There's a lot of criticism going over on Twitter, but AEW really needs to improve on its big finishes, as this is the second time in recent memory that the promotion has aired a gimmick match that seemed to be ready to out-deliver on fans' expectations, only for a dud finish to hurt or even ruin the match. Whether it's an exploding ring match that had all the impact of a fart, or a poorly shot angle that exposed safety precautions, AEW needs to reevaluate its habit of running gimmick matches live. It's understandable that they don't want to have any spoilers on this match, but the promotion could have taped the match 1 or 2 hours ahead of time in order to better edit the fizzled finish. Now, we have seen a couple of different angles, and we're unsure why AEW didn't go with those instead of that went live. It looks so much better from the top. But fans weren't the only people who faulted the finish. Former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion Shotzi Blackheart apparently took a shot at the spot too, posting a gif on her Twitter page of someone falling backwards onto a bed. You can be certain other wrestlers will get in the fun over the next few days. I've seen a mattress being all elite, the Simpsons gif where Homer falls on the mattress only to fall back into the house, and quite a few more. And next up, AEW offers refunds. Some news sites are reporting that AEW offered refunds for last night's show. Now, in light of the negative reaction to the cage match's finish, viewers might think that Tony Khan was dishing out refunds for Jericho's fall, but actually Meltzer reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio that when the show started, Tony Khan went on and said, "Okay, this is the deal. The first hour of this show is taped, so we're going to be playing it on the screens. However, your noise is going to be the crowd noise in this match, so cheer and boo like you would." AEW's decision to air pre-taped matches is interesting because at one point there was talk of the special edition of Dynamite only featuring the 2-ring cage match. Meltzer observed further that, so the crowd noise was not fake crowd noise, it was the real crowd noise from the crowd, but the matches themselves were taped a couple of weeks ago. Tony Khan, explained before that if for some reason you didn't hear this and you're unhappy, you can get a refund, and they did give 5 refunds. If nothing else, Tony Khan puts his money where his mouth is in terms of trying to please the fans. Next up, Tony Khan takes a shot at WWE. Now, although the finish for last night's special was met with mixed reactions, there's no denying that AEW and WWE are doing their best to compete against each other. AEW President Tony Khan recently spoke with Entrepreneur.com about the differences between WWE and AEW. There's a lot of differences between AEW and WWE. I don't do really cheap DQ finishes to prolong something. There are other wrestling programs where you might see multiple DQs and countouts in a week. I believe in giving the fans a finish to the match. I believe in not false advertising programs and people. I might hype something I really believe in, but there's a big difference between hyping something and false advertising outright, and I've never done the latter. I think that's why we have a lot of goodwill with the audience. And do you feel that AEW delivers on its promises and avoids the dreaded bait and switch practice of promising a match only to replace it with something else less appealing? Well, Khan furthered his opinion on what distinguishes AEW from WWE. Following through on things you say you're going to do and trying to deliver a show that's in spirit of what the fans want to see week in, week out, and offering fresh matches and fresh programs is a big part of it. You know, not doing the same matches 17 weeks in a row over and over again. AEW is not without its critics, and even loyal fans find things to complain about. However, do you think Khan's comments reflect the reality of AEW's product compared to WWE, or are they more hyped to promote his company? Let us know what you think in the comments down below. Next up, Bryan knew he was leaving WWE at WrestleMania 37. Now, there's more news coming out concerning Bryan, as we're not only learning his WWE contract ended sometime last week, but that he knew as of WrestleMania 37 that he was exiting the WWE. Dave Meltzer discussed the situation on the recent Wrestling Observer Radio, saying, I guess he was going to give them until right after WrestleMania in 2021, which is why all these promos were that this could be my last WrestleMania because his contract was coming due. The agreement was that he would go through his WrestleMania. Yeah, he's a free agent. He can go anywhere he wants tomorrow. Meltzer observed that no one seems to know what's next for Bryan. As noted in our previous video, Bryan may have already signed back with the WWE. As rumors are going around, they're trying hard to get him re-signed. AEW announcer Tony Schiavone recently chatted up the possibility of Bryan and or Samoa Joe showing up in AEW, noting he'd love to see both men in the company, but you know what, if we could, maybe we would, but we don't book him, do we? If Bryan chooses to remain in the wrestling industry, it's believed the WWE will make him a major offer to stay with them. Next up, what's next for RK Bro? If you enjoyed the odd couple pairing of Randy Orton and Matt Riddle, you'll be happy to hear that word has it that the WWE has long-term plans for the team. According to Wrestling Inc.'s Mark Middleton, the new Orton-Riddle alliance is not planned to be a short-term deal, but there's no word yet on specifics for the push. A run with the Raw Tag Team titles, currently held by AJ Styles and Omos, seems likely at some point. It was also noted that WWE will be releasing RK Bro merchandise soon. The Randy Orton-Riddle team has been on a roll, and while it seems inevitable that they'll split them up at some point, the team could become a breakout success, much like the Hurt Business. Oh wait, no, shouldn't have used them as an example. But they could also give us a swerve by having Riddle turn on Orton, but for now, it looks like we'll be seeing them together for some time, which is good as Raw's tag team division is sorely lacking. Next up, WWE thought Chelsea Green looked too similar to these wrestlers. Chelsea Green has been sharing some of her behind-the-scenes stories working in the WWE on a new podcast, and one of them sounds like classic WWE insanity. Green revealed that at one point, they weren't going to hire her because she looked too much like Peyton Royce and Billie Kay of the Iconics. These girls have been my ride or dies, especially throughout my time in WWE. Funny story actually, I was told that I would only get a job at NXT if Cass and Jess, aka the Iconics, didn't pass their medicals because the three of us look so similar, which I actually love now. I think it's such a compliment. Joke's on them, right, because they still hired me, right? And with the Iconics and Green about to become free agents with their non-compete clause expires, it would be ironic if they all worked together. And finally, is The Rock coming to Fortnite? Last but not least, the rumors of The Rock appearing in the popular video game Fortnite may be true, at least based on some reports concerning the court case between Apple and Epic Games. According to a report from Thirsty News, Fortnite fans could get a Dwayne Johnson skin on their favorite game soon enough. No information has been confirmed by Epic yet, but newly leaked documents from the video game creator indicated that the former WWE champion is making his way to the game eventually. They went on to explain the source of this Epic leak comes as a result of an ongoing court case between Apple and Epic Games. The hearing started yesterday, and they revealed that The Rock is planned to join Fortnite as part of the game's ongoing Icon series. The skin was said to already have been out now, as it was initially planned for the first quarter of the 2021 release. The Rock could be a great addition to the game, as players have enjoyed past skins including characters from Marvel Comics and Star Wars. What do you guys think of The Rock being in Fortnite? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.